through the magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
What up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night? Anyone that was a little confused, earlier this week we did a live stream. It was just a little test for the video game room, so anyone who was able to come and participate with that while we kicked the tires and figured out how everything was working with that, you got to have a good, fun, it felt like 2 hours and a half we did. How we all doing? This is the Saturday night live stream. My name's Protoman. This is the face that runs this place. This is the Transformers Slag Podcast Saturday night live stream main event. How we all doing? Got a lot of YouTube members today. Michael Coop, Timmy K. Poindexter, AI Dragon Legend, Roman Shillings. I think we got some some Patreon people too here. JR Mina's here. Who else is here? I might have missed a few names also. There's some new icons you'll notice next to the YouTube membership names. YouTube pretty much, they said, hey, Proto Man, you reached some new thresholds. We reached 5 million views across all our stuff that we've done. So that was one big milestone. Every time you hit like a milestone, they give you like an extra perk for your YouTube members. So we got some new YouTube membership icons. We got some new emojis, all bunch of new stuff for you guys that you can mess around with and have fun. So hope you enjoy that if you're a YouTube member. Mr. BumbleBot's here, Horned Owl, Ryan Strange, Dawnbringer, everybody's here. So we're going to cover some news today, little things here and there. Got some interesting stuff in the mail. Maybe I'll cover it later this week because some of it is unrelated to Transformers. I'll see how I feel about it. Also did some shopping, got some cool stuff I just want to kind of show you guys as kind of a heads up of what's going on. We'll just take some super chats, enjoy the rest of the evening, and just relax for the lucky few that got 2 streams this week. For people that missed it, we were chilling in the video game room. It was still under construction. We played some Transformer video games. We played a little bit of this and that. I might next week try again. Later this week, I'll see how I feel, if I have the free time to do it. And that'll be that. So let's jump into the news, shall we? Got quite a bit to talk about. And again, if you want to participate, hit that super chat button and participate and let us know how you feel about what's going on with the news too. And I will recount it for you. Shall we? Larry's here too. Everybody's here today. So let's talk about first the Super Bowl ad spot. Kind of not what we were expecting. A lot of the footage was footage we've already seen. Approximately 5 seconds of new footage was part of that 30-second ad spot. Brought to you by Porsche with Hasbro. Cost them $7 million for those 30 seconds. Pretty crazy. And it pretty much just focused on Mirage. So we've got to see Mirage better. We got to see his face, his voice acting, and all of that stuff, and a little bit of Bumblebee, and a little bit of what people are assuming is Stratosphere, or as the aerophiles are calling it, the Air Force Fairchild C-111 flying boxcar that he transforms into. I just hope he transforms into robot mode, and it's not just a alt mode only kind of situation. But yeah, again, not much really to talk about it. I'm pretty sure all of you saw my individual segment on it where we kind of tried to break it down as much as we can, along with a comparison to at the same time, because on Sunday we got the Super Bowl ad, and then on Monday we got an early Transformer Tuesday on a Monday, and it was a Mirage Monday because we got this guy that was shown to us. I did an individual segment on him too. Go check it out if you want, where we go really deep into all the detail and everything like that. But we got our first look at our Studio Series Deluxe Class SS-105 Mirage from Rise of the Beasts. And, fandom was hot and cold about it. I stand by that this is just a prime example of what happens when you have Transformers being developed at the same time that the movie is being developed. And sometimes things change along the way. We were very lucky that Studio Series as a whole had a lot of characters that were made after those movies were done. I mean, reminder, like Studio Series didn't really become a thing until a little bit into the Bumblebee movie and everything. Oh, there goes that box. Um, so that was just one of those things where, we were even getting better last night figures after it was said and done. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But I kind of go, ooh, maybe we'll probably get better Rise of the Beast figures later. I hope that's not something to wait for, where it's like we're gonna look at Mirage and go, I'll wait for the better version later. I hope that's not the case. I hope that these are strong representations of them, and maybe just this CG mock-up we have here in a neutral pose doesn't really express the figure better. And maybe, who knows, maybe later on we'll get a better version. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's something where, again, I kind of hope that Mark Mayer gets his hand on this toy as soon as possible, does his fantastic photo shoots on Instagram, and then we'll get a better idea of how this is supposed to be. But it is it is bizarre. It is bizarre to see that, but it's returning to that 2007, 2012 era of Transformers in a lot of ways. And speaking of Studio Series, we also had a whole bunch of other Studio Series listings for late 2023, early 2024. These are primarily retail Studio Series listings. I did a deep individual segment about this on the podcast, so go check in the archive just a couple of days ago, where I really try to make sense of everything here. But I'll just kind of rapid fire through it. We're going to be getting a core class Mohawk. We're going to be getting a core class Rumble of some shape or form. It says MV6 here, so I'm going to assume Bumblebee movie, but people are saying it's 86 movie, which doesn't make sense because we already have a core class Rumble. We have a core class MV6 Starscream. Again, people are saying it's Studio Series 86 Starscream, not Bumblebee movie Starscream in core class. We already have a core class Generation 1 Starscream. I don't understand how that would be the case. In deluxe class, we got War for Cybertron video game Sideswipe. We got deluxe class Scorponok from Rise of the Beasts. We got a MV6 Sunstreaker. We got a Voyager class War for Cybertron video game Starscream, which is going to open it up to a whole bunch of Seekers afterwards. You know how that's going to be. We got a Voyager class Bumblebee movie Shockwave. We got a Voyager class, another Junkion, this time Scrap Heap. So more Junkions joining that Voyager price point from Studio Series. And then in the leader classes, we got a leader class Studio Series 86 Swoop, completing the Dinobots. And most interesting of the bunch, a Bumblebee movie leader class Megatron. Very interesting indeed. Very, very interesting. So we'll see what happens with those. Again, if you want a more in-depth breakdown about them, I did an individual segment, so you could go check that one out on the podcast, where we just kind of, with a whole bunch of photography, try to make sense of how this is going to work, what it's going to lead to in the future, the choices of the molds that might be used, everything like that. Check it out, like I always say. But we had more stuff. We had more movie related stuff. This time, more of that Authentics kind of mainline stuff, a little bit of Titan changers. We also did an individual segment about it. The big takeaway from it, of course, is the Beast Mode Optimus Prime that's going to be part of this. We already saw the Beast Mode Bumblebee, which you squeeze its legs and the hawk kind of stuff pops out of his chest and back. So Beast Mode Optimus Prime, who knows what that is? Who knows what that turns into? But again, your guess is as good as mine. As well as a Beast Alliance Battle Master Optimus Primal. Reminder that the Battle Masters are the ones that transform into the weapons based off of the characters from the movie or mainline robots. So now we have a Ape Optimus Primal that transforms into some kind of weapon. I'm thinking a mace. I mean, that's the one that kind of makes sense from my perspective. But, maybe you could think of something better. And then, of course, we have a Rise of the Beasts Buzzworthy Bumblebee Hurricane, which is a code name. We don't know who Hurricane is. That's one of the code names that we never got translated, but it's a Buzzworthy Bumblebee Rise of the Beast Hurricane. considering that about 98% of the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line is repaints, with very few of it being of any kind of new tooling. I'm really curious who this could be. Probably a repaint of a previously existing mold. Maybe it's a repaint of that Mirage we just saw into, I don't know, movie jazz. Wouldn't that be great? Isn't that what everyone wants, eh? So keep that out, and then of course the Titan changers, which are those simplistic transformation stuff. We break it all down in the individual segment. Go check it out. A good watch, like I always say. We also have some animation models, some better shots of how the characters are going to look in their animation models and control art. So we have both that of Cheetor and, of course, Freezer, the Terracon. We also got to see Freezer and his packaging, and then the packaging on the inside, the background that comes with his Studio Series core class. So we have that Attack of the Museum background there with the dinosaur bones and all of that and the fossils. So, and Cheetor looking kind of sad. I don't know. Maybe that's just his animation model and how it looks and everything like that. So there's that going on too. So I mean, hey, but at least again, we get to see Frieza. We get to see how he looks. Probably going to be in the movie in some shape or form, looking all weird. But it is a Terracon, and usually the bad guys in these live action movies always have a much more weirder look to them. And then last but not least, is a individual in Japan got their hands on the Voyager class Cheetor from Rise of the Beast and the deluxe class Airazor from Rise of the Beast, the two Studio Series versions. And he was messing with them, and the individual is by the name of Terra 810. Terra 810. And he combined them together, and apparently they combine quite very well. Like they actually combine so well that it clips in and everything. So very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Airazor kind of has a little bit of a interesting storyline in the Rise of the Beast movie. I don't know if it's tied to this. Could be just a coincidence. Sometimes people find combining modes and stuff like that are not intended for any kind of story purposes. But very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. I mean, people were even making comparisons and saying that it could be the movie version of Tigerhawk. Maybe what we're seeing here is not intended for these two colorations, but you kind of paint it like Tigerhawk. You give those Tigerhawk color schemes across those two characters. You make the Cheetor into a Tigatron repaint, which is a given. And then you give a more purpley kind of color scheme to the Airazor mold. You slap those two together, and then they might be onto something there. So very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. And again, it clips in perfectly. So this individual, again, Terra 810, just want to give him a shout out, a Japanese fan, was the one who discovered this. And it really makes people scratch their chin. So we might be seeing something in the future. So keep that in mind, people. Very interesting. I might do an individual segment about this too if we get more information. So check it out, yo. Check it out. And that's it more or less for the news. It's been a very quiet week. It was mostly just listings and individual stuff. Again, I did deeper individual segments throughout the week, so you could go check those out and everything. And of course, you know, we did a live stream, so that we didn't upload the live stream. We were just kind of testing stuff. The audio quality wasn't that great. The lighting wasn't that great. We were just kind of messing with stuff to just kind of figure things out. We got a good amount of people though. I think like 119 or 120 people showed up or something. So pretty good, pretty good. But yeah, so we're gonna go into some super chats. We'll take some super chats from the fans. I'll show you some cool stuff that we got this week. We'll do the sponsorship, and then we'll just relax for the rest of the evening. So let's do the sponsors first, because sponsors keep the lights on, and of course it's Symbiote Studios, which I was unfortunately I wasn't wearing a Symbiote Studio shirt during the video game live screen. So it is what it is. Timmy K. Poindexter Esquire, who won the Super Bowl? It was the Eagles. They won by, what was it, 1 point? It was a close one. So Symbiote Studios, like we always say, Symbiote Studios, our plush, our pins, and our t-shirts, the #1 Transformer plush in the world. Going strong. What's up, Mikey and Louie? Going up strong. They have their new stuff coming out. I think next week we're going to be revealing some brand new Symbiote Studio plush. Whole bunch of new ones for 2023. So stay tuned for that. I saw a bunch of people were buying the Catnip Bravo Convoy shirt. That's the red one over there that both Evan from Hasbro and me were rocking. So nice to see people picking up that cool shirt. And of course, all the other Symbiote Studio stuff that is available, all the other plushes. So get those while you can before they sell out. Sucks having to do the reissues. Soundwave got reissued 3 times now. Starscream twice, Grimlock twice, you know? So it is what it is. Pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. So be sure to check them out. And of course, all their other awesome plush, all their other things. Got to get yourself a Cobra Commander, Snake Eyes with, of course, Timber. You got to get little Timber there. And of course, Power Rangers, My Little Pony, and many more. The ponies, from what Symbiote Studios told me, they're running extremely low. And after they're done this run, it'll probably be the end of the pony run of stuff because they're only doing Friendship is Magic stuff. And then, of course, the transition then goes to whatever's the newest Hasbro hotness with the pony brand. So this is your last chance to get the My Little Pony stuff if you are interested in Friendship is Magic, just to let you know. Just to let you know. So that's just that. And of course, all the others. Cool stuff too. And of course, And Deceits. What up, what up? With And Deceits, the cockpit of the podcast. They are going to be releasing, because there's C2E2 coming up, and then I think there's another, I think it's PAX East. They're going to be at one of the big video game conventions, and they're going to be revealing all their latest products. So keep an eye out for that and everything. And yeah, they're going to have brand new Transformer related product, other licensed Transformer stuff, and all your video game apparel. So be sure to check that out. Andeceits.com. Use promo code Protoman to get 15% off your first order. Stuff's already on sale. So we'll see what happens with that. I'd like to see a hot rod chair. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if you're being given the press kit by Hasbro, and I've talked about the Legendary 7, Hot Rod's not on that list, unfortunately. Even in my opinion, I think you should do a Starscream or a Soundwave or a Grimlock before you do a Hot Rod. And that's coming from the world's biggest Hot Rod fan in the world. Business before pleasure, like I always say. That's how it works. Hey, you're saying Shockwave. Shockwave is one of my favorite Decepticons of all time. And I still think you need to do a Starscream and a Soundwave beforehand. Just makes sense. You're going to move more seats. And of course, we got the latest episode with the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Aaron Archer did not do a live stream yesterday. He was busy with family. Yeah, I think he actually mentioned it last week too, as a heads up. But for people who were wondering why there was no live stream on Friday yesterday, he was busy with the fams doing his thing. So, but check out the Toy Armada and Aaron Archer. We have some good stuff. He did one of his recent draw episodes. That's under the live tab, where he drew Armada Optimus Prime from scratch. You get to see the whole magic and how that's done. Really cool stuff. And speaking of the magic of drawing, you could also pick up one of his art books at archermonster.com/shop, or just check out archermonster.com to begin with, because it has a whole bunch of cool stuff on there. The history of Transformers Armada and all the other Unicron trilogy movie stuff, all the stuff that he worked on, he created from Hasbro in the Transformer world. And you could pick up The Art of Transforming Robots Volume 1 Black and White Edition for $20 from the website. And for an extra $15, he'll sketch whatever you want inside. A lot of cool stuff people have been getting sketched in there. The next time you're going to see Aaron Archer in the flesh will be TFCon Toronto in July. So if you want to get something before that, go check out archermonster.com/shop if you can't make it to Toronto, and shake Mr. Archer's hand, and then turn to his right and look at me and shake your head and go, "Where did you go wrong, man?" But yeah, that's it more or less, guys, for the for the sponsorship. We'll get into some super chats and questions. And so I went out with a buddy today, and we were just doing some toy hunting and stuff like that. And the big reason, let me get a swig here. The big reason why we were going out, and this was we did this on Wednesday, um, primarily because on Thursday the sale was going to end. And if you want to know about sales, be sure to join our Patreon because we let you know about all the sales that are happening in the Transformer world on our Patreon. You just got to join the Patreon, come join the Discord, and all the crazy stuff there. Save money on your hobby, and you're going to see some crazy savings right now. Granted, they're not Transformer related. Um, so apparently, Toys R Us Canada, for the first time in almost 40 years, is going to be discontinuing their R Zone. Their R Zone was essentially what was their video game section. They're kind of transforming it now into a collector's section. You know, they're putting a lot of the Funkos there. They're putting the more adult oriented figures. A lot of the reaction toys are showing up there. The video game related figures are showing up there, like the World of Nintendo stuff, the more expensive Lego sets that are more, I guess, the Lego's idea and expensive stuff. But what they're doing is now that they're phasing out the R Zone and all the video game stuff, everything went on crazy clearance. I picked up a few video game stuff, but they were modest stuff, 15% off, 20% off. But if you were someone, so if anyone remembers Starlink, right? Remember this abomination that didn't work out? I got into it because I love Star Fox, and this was technically a Star Fox sequel-ish, because Star Fox was involved with this. And I never picked up any of the expansion stuff because they were so expensive and silly and everything. You won't believe what they were clearancing these just to get them out of here. And keep in mind, the number I'm going to say is Canadian. They were asking 30 cents Canadian for these. 30 cents, down from 50 cents. So 30 cents Canadian is about, geez, 14 cents American, maybe? So they were just like, get these out of here. So I picked up a bunch of them, a whole bunch of them, because nobody wanted them. I remember when I went to the cashier to check out, the guy was shocked that they were ringing up for 30 cents. You know, absolutely nothing. Nothing. They were just like, get this out of here. Get this out of here. So I was happy because now I got more Starlink stuff, different characters and weapons and everything like that for literally nothing. You know what I mean? Think about it in American dollar. It's like 13 cents. Like 13 cents. It's probably not even worth the cardboard it's printed on, let alone the plastic. So, so keep in mind, if you are a Canadian or maybe a European that still has a Toys R Us, they're starting to phase out the R zones. The sale, I think most of the sales started to end this Thursday. It might still continue in individual areas because, again, when you have a red tag like this, that's also sometimes an individual area sale because it goes over the UPC code that would have been in their all over computer archive. So keep that in mind if you are a Canadian. American sales, the only ones I can mention, again, go check out the Discord on the Patreon. We posted a whole bunch of sales and stuff this week. There was a lot of good stuff, a lot of 50% off sales of MicroMasters and everything like that. Go check that out. Come join the Patreon, man. You make your money back just from that. Yeah, it's absolutely nothing. Everyone's shocked. The other cool thing, this isn't mine. I didn't buy this, but I asked my friend if I could show it off on the stream and I'll bring it to him tomorrow. I'm not even that big into Naruto, but apparently Playmobil has the Naruto license and they're doing Naruto Playmobil figures. So if you're into Naruto, I watched it a bit. Kakashi was kind of cool, but I kind of fell off after like the first like 40 episodes or something. Just too many better shows to watch back in, geez, when was that? 2003, 2004, long time ago, 2005. So they're doing Playmobil licensed Naruto ones. From what I saw, it looked like Naruto was the best seller and Kakashi was one of the least sellers. My friend bought all of them. I was like, hey, could I just borrow one just to show people? And Kakashi was my favorite character in the show in the brief time I watched it. So that's kind of cool. Comes with a whole bunch. Look, he comes with his little book there. It's a little romance novel that he reads. Comes with a little kunai and everything. Kind of cool. It's funny how Lego didn't get it, but Playmobil will, because Lego's probably not going to do. Lego's got Ninjago, but Playmobil's got the real ninjas. So check that out. That's pretty cool too. Just wanted to just show that to you guys. When I saw it, I was like, you know what? I want to bring it on the stream and show it to people. Can I borrow it? So that's pretty hype stuff. But that's it more or less. That's it more or less of the stuff that we got. I got little things here and there, but nothing too major. Otherwise, little video game stuff. Mostly cheapy games here and there, clubhouse games and a few others. They were liquidating more of their low end kind of Switch games and everything. So like Clubhouse games that was originally I think 19.99, they were asking like $11 Canadian, which again, $11 Canadian, that's like $7 American for a new Switch game physical. Pretty good. So I can argue that. Picked up a few of those. Not much else. Not much else really going on. Not much else really going on. Young butternut. It's 22 cents. Yeah, it's about that. It's really cheap. Let's put it that way. It's really, really cheap. Most people spend spend $5 like nothing. 22 cents is chump change. Michael Koo, I think there's 20 plus Playmobil Naruto figures you could buy currently. I know that Naruto was the most popular one at my Toys R Us. He was like the one there was like 3 left, and there was a lot of Kakashi and Sasuke left. So again, I don't know what the local Montreal community, which is their favorite characters and stuff. So, anyways, we'll take some super chats, and then we'll just relax the rest of the evening. We got a good hour and something to talk about Transformers and everything. We did we did a live stream just a couple of days ago doing some video game stuff. Thank you to everyone who came to that live stream. And it was good to get the feedback because I was curious about the audio quality. I was curious about the lighting because the lighting isn't 100%. We were obviously recorded. We were doing that live stream, excuse me, during the day. So that was daylight. And that's, I don't like to use daylight as a measuring stick because you can't control that, you know? So we'll see. Horned Owl wants to know with the YouTube member question, how do we know that flying boxcar is an actual transformer and not a normal jet transporting Bumblebee? It's completely an assumption by fans. It's just that somewhere along the line we learned about Stratosphere being in the movie, and people are just looking for, hey, it's a vehicle that is dropping a transformer in a live action movie. And the last time we saw Stratosphere in Revenge of the Fallen, he was doing the same thing for Optimus. So it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Timmy K. Poindexter, Esquire, Protoman, fighting games stream. Let us go. Yeah, well, that's, you know what? When you said that, I was already looking at installing probably Fightcade on the streaming platform, like the streaming devices that we use, as well as I installed some Super Nintendo stuff just to do more tests. Just to do more tests, because if I do Fightcade, that really opens it up to a whole bunch of fighting games I could play online against people. That's a big one because then I could do everything, like everything that's ever existed, I could play online. So that'd be really cool if I could find people playing King of Fighters, find people playing, Samurai Showdown or Street Fighter, for Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, like those old school fighters that I played like crazy back in the day in the arcades, like a psycho. So that'd be really cool to do those. But I mean, we're still trying to like just get everything set up, because what I want to do in the future is sometimes do those streams. Just do some fighting game live streams, do some video game stuff. I want to do some Transformer video game stuff. I want to do some bring in like, some of the newer games and do streams of those. That'd be pretty cool. So we'll see what's happening with that. Timmy K points to Tournament Fighter Ninja Turtles. You know what? I don't know if there's a competitive scene for that. I'm kind of curious if there is. I'm really curious if there is a competitive scene for Tournament Fighter. I used to use Raphael, and he wasn't very good in Tournament Fighter. He had that corkscrew attack, and then he had that fireball finish, if I remember correctly. So we'll see. Billy B, one of my patrons. What's up, Billy B? Earth Wars. Well, I was thinking like, number one, um, I want to like, because I'm also going to try to get the video out working. So because we have the big flat screen in the video game room. So I want to kind of get the video out working too and do a capture device and attach the Nintendo Switch to it and maybe play, you know, Transformers Battlegrounds, which was based off of Cyberverse. We could play, that War for Cybertron retool that people have been doing, you know, War for Cybertron, play that online. I haven't played that in forever. I'd be so rusty playing some Capture the Flag. That'd be pretty cool. But we'll see. We will see. Mayoral with the PO box. I haven't gone to the PO box in like 4 weeks. Usually, what I do with the PO box, if I'm near it, I go check it out. Otherwise, I kind of wait until the mail company says, "Hey, you have like a certain amount of items." Usually, what happens if I get like one letter in it, they just leave it and they don't contact me. They email me. But if I have like 3 or 4 letters, or if I have like a box in there that's a little bigger than the box should be, that's when they contact me. So if there's something in there, it's probably something tiny. But I will swing by it at some point. I know I probably have to do it maybe before the end of the month or something because I know that there's a few things coming to it that's business related. So we're gonna have to tackle that stuff. Oh, the Armada game with Aaron Archer. That'd be fun to do. Ooh, that would be really fun to do. To have Aaron with us when we do the Armada game. Oh, that's great. Like if we could get to like, because he couldn't get past Starscream, which was, I believe, that was the snow level. He couldn't get past Starscream. It was. I beat the game, but I remember the toughest spot was probably Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave was pretty tough, and I was trying to beat it with Hot Shot, which makes it a little tougher because Hot Shot didn't have as much defense in the game. You have to like outrun his missiles and stuff. He does like that whole barrage of missiles. But yeah, that'd be fun too. That'd be fun also. Transformers Armada. Armada. That'd be a good one. That would be a good one. But yeah, so we're going to be doing more of that in the future because it was well received. People really liked it. It was really fun. And again, when we do those live streams, people enjoy them. They want something a little different, and it's something that to me it keeps it fresh because yeah, we could do the news, yeah, we could answer super chats and stuff. It wouldn't be fun to answer super chats while we're having a game playing in the background or something. I mean, I beat when we did the live stream, I beat Super Mario Super Autobot Bros, which was a ROM hack of Super Mario 1 into Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. So we played that game. We beat that on the live stream. We played some Super Mario Bros. 2. We played what else did we play? We played a whole bunch of ROM hacks and stuff. It was fun. Anyone who came, they had a good time. It was some crazy stuff there. A lot of stuff people never even knew existed, which is the best part of doing these live streams. JR Mina with the YouTube member question. Hi, Proto, non-transformer question. Do you still play Magic the Gathering? Yes, yes, yes. And what do you think of the latest expansions? I've been watching box openings on YouTube and cards are powerful and artwork are beautiful. I've never stopped playing Magic the Gathering. I first started playing Magic the Gathering in 1994. Shout out to Black Lotus Cafe. That's literally what the place was called. It was originally so long. Here's a fun little story. So the store that I used to go to, my local. This is the amazingness of the '90s. How stores would evolve throughout the years. So it was a little card store called Triple Overtime. Triple Overtime at the time was the longest overtime a hockey game ever went to. So the guy named his store after that, Triple Overtime. And Lampro, shout out to Lampro, who was the man. He opened up this store at the age of 21. I think he was 21 or 22. And he opened up just a card store for hockey cards. Then he brought in some comic books. Then he brought in some non-sports cards like Marvel trading cards and Marvel masterpieces during those 90s booms. Then he brought in arcade machines. Then he brought in video games to rent. Then he started renting anime. But the big thing was when in 93 when Magic the Gathering came out and he became obsessed with it. And in Canada, we didn't get alpha, beta, and unlimited, but we did get revised. And revised was how all Canadians started Magic the Gathering. And I got in on revised, I still to this day have my original gift set of revised with all those cards that I got back in the day. Who would have known that dual lands would be worth so much money all those years later? I actually own a Black Lotus, not an alpha or a beta. Before you ask, I own an unlimited Black Lotus in okay condition. I bought it for I think $120 back in the day. No one knew that stuff was going to get crazy back then. I still play to this day. I still have my decks. I have one commander deck that I use, but I'm more of an old school player, which is a format that's very popular in Canada. It's called Old School Wolf format. Still play that. I still play my old school format. I have a whole bunch of different decks with that. I have a legacy deck. So I play a lot of Magic, and literally, like off camera, there's cards here. And I have a little bit of a partnership because through over there, I have a little bit of a partnership with Wizards of the Coast. They once in a while send me stuff. They sent me the Transformer stuff. And then Ultra Pro sent me last week. I showed you guys. Ultra Pro sent the play mats. Let me grab one. The uh, the Transformer play mats they sent me, which was pretty hype of them. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, still play it religiously. When they had the Transformer TCG, I was playing that too. Also had again a good relationship with Jason and the crew at the TCG there also. So pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Mikey and Louie, do you think there will be more Magic Transformer crossover cards? 200%. 200%. And I'll say why, because they were ridiculously successful. Magic the Gathering, when it does crossovers with stuff, they have to pay for a license, but not when it's something that they already own, because Magic is what Wizards of the Coast, which is owned by Hasbro. So you might not see more Warhammer. Actually, you probably will because it sold very well. You might not see more Warhammer crossover, but they'll probably will because it sold really good. You might not see more, let's say, the Godzilla crossovers. You probably might not see more of that. You might not see more of the Stranger Thing crossovers, but you'll definitely see 100% more Transformer ones. They're planning for way more. It was very successful. They just released those new playmats from Ultra Pro. Like when I showed you those playmats last week, that was the day they debuted, and I think they're already sold out. I told anyone last week, go get them because they're going to sell out. If they already sold out on Ultra Pro's website, probably check your local game store if they have stock, if they picked up a few. But if anyone knows how that Grimlock playmat was, anyone knows that Grimlock playmat, that thing, when that sold out, that thing went for $100 easily. So keep that in mind. We got a super chat from T-Formers 2002. Did you see JT Prime's new post of the Evolution Scrap Hoop getting turned into RID toe line, new head and everything? Not yet confirmed though. JT sent it to me. I saw it. I don't know. He was being vague though. The thing is, it's like he said something about when I see the listing or something, it'll be more clear. Like when I see the EAN code. And I was like, okay. The thing is that like whenever I get that kind of news, I don't want to report it until I have something that's more legitimate. I hate doing news that's just kind of speculation. That's why I love listing news, because listings news are their EAN codes. You could literally go to a Target computer or a Walmart computer and then it just shows up. It's available to the public. If you know the code, there it is. You could go on what's that website? redflagdeals.com or something. Like you could find that stuff. So that's stuff that I like to report. When JT Prime, the reality is he's a retail worker. So there's only so much I could take from that. I need physical, like, screenshots of the listing or whatever, EAN codes, not just speculation based on what could potentially be a name. So that's why we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I think that's cool. I mean, getting some RID love. When you think about it, I mean, like we got like zero robots in disguise love for the longest time. And then all of a sudden it's going to be the flip changer toe line. That was a repaint of a Machine Wars toy that was an unused G2 flip changer toy from back in the day. So that means that if we do get that tow line at some point, we may get Hoist. And what was the other one? It was Hoist and what was the other one? Hoist and geez, why am I blanking on it? Because it was Hubcab. Oh, Hubcab was the other one. Excuse me, Hubcab and Hoist. Because Hubcab was the yellow one, Hoist was the black one. So that means we'll get a repaint of those too. Maybe we'll see. Again, when we get more, like when I see a listing, then I'll probably talk about it on the podcast as an individual segment. But it's something that I need more info. And now everyone's posting Hubcap. Keep in mind, there's always a delay with the chat. I don't see it until like 5 seconds later. So we might even get repaints of those. That always opens up the rabbit hole. It's like, oh, there's a new head sculpt. Okay, now you could do these repaints. So we'll see. Wrecker Hook was the other one. Tow Line. Wrecker Hook was the name in Car Robots. And then he got in what do you call it here? Robot Masters. He was also called Wrecker Hook. And he was called Wrecker Hook in Car Robots. And then he was called Tow Line here. And then he got a clear orange repaint. Was it clear orange? I have that one. Oh, I can't see it. It's already blocked over there. Was it clear orange? Yeah, it was clear orange. Got a clear orange repaint, which was a Justco exclusive. So there's plenty of just the repaint potential from that one right there. If they make that new head sculpt, so easy. So much you could do right there. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, I want more circumstantial evidence. I want to see the listings, I want to see the codes, and then we'll talk about it. A lot of people, they send me stuff that they go, "Oh, I heard about this or I heard about that," and it ends up not being true. And sometimes it's people trolling. They want to say something so that I could say some maybe incorrect news on the podcast and maybe say their name. So ain't gonna fall for it. I've been in this game way too long to fall for it. Mikey and Louie, what is the most likely theory for the next HasLab Transformer? I would like Well, see, I mean, from a business standpoint, like Primus just makes sense, but I mean, at the same time, they might just do another weird Japanese thing. But I mean, like if they do Primus, that'll just do so well. Like when you do stuff like, look, when they did Star Saber, people were excited about it. It was priced incorrectly, but people were excited about it. It was a good product. People were excited about it. It was priced incorrectly. Then when people got it, people were kind of like, you could barely see him because Roddy's in the way, but people were kind of like, there's yellowing issues, there's QC issues and stuff like that. So that kind of took the wind out of that sail. And then Deathsaurus was shown, and then people were kind of like, ooh, hopefully Deathsaurus will be good. So if they do a third weird Japanese character, I don't know. Again, I stand by HasLab should be items that don't fit in retail. That's just what I feel. HasLab should be items that just don't work in the retail. Excuse me, in the retail space. I had a poutine before we went live today. I had a Costco hot dog and a poutine, if anyone's asking, and it was delicious. Um, but yeah, like it's just that's how I always felt about it. It's just if you're gonna give me something that could have been in retail, and HasLab, are they gonna ask what its retail equivalency will be? It's something where it's like this figure here, right? The Ravage here. This is like a Voyager deluxe class kind of figure. If this was a HasLab, it wouldn't be $24.99. It would be like $50. There's that. It's like the HasLab tax, as the Marvel Legends community calls it, because the Marvel Legends community, they're seeing how oh, you get a 6-inch figure in a vehicle and it's like $199 or $200, but when you put a 6-inch vehicle, a figure in a vehicle in Target, all of a sudden it's like $59.99. So like it's like it's the HasLab tax, which is, and to me, it bothers me when you make a figure that could have been retail and now you're gouging the audience under it could only exist on HasLab, when that's not true. When you could sell Overlord as a Titans Return leader class who's way more obscure than Star Saber and get away with that. Brand new tooling and everything. Come on, man. Like, I don't believe that. And that's why, like, something I fall on Primus and Planet Cybertron, because that'll be a big item. That'll be an item that a Toys R Us, a Walmart, a Target be like, we don't got space for that. That doesn't make sense. You know? It doesn't make sense. But again, it's something that when they do these items, they have to make a minimum of 8,000 units. So it has to be something that makes sense. And the thing that bothers me is more people buy it out of FOMO than they buy it because they want it. And that's not like, and there's always the people who buy like 3 of them because they're going to flip them. And the flipping of the Star Saber isn't working out as well as some people had hoped, you know? It was good at first with the FOMO, and now it's kind of like it's plateaued that price. And now you have guys that are sitting on it at 300 and no one's buying anything. So it's as I expected. Timmy K Point Sector, what about the Decepticon Ninja Consultant 6-shot? Yeah, they'll do a 6-shot again. Look, the last 6-shot was fantastic. I mean, like everyone really liked that Titans Return one. At some point, they're going to revisit that character again. They're going to not do the headmaster gimmick, and they're going to do a great version of it. You know, that's what's going to happen. JR Mina with the super chat, with the YouTube member question: what is your favorite deck archetype and Magic the Gathering color? When I first started playing Magic, I really liked black, and I had this is all like at the beginning. I had a black deck with was all around getting Nightmare out and just, old school Magic, getting Nightmare out and winning with that. I had Royal Assassins and uh and Terrors. Uh my favorite deck archetype today probably is I really like doing artifact decks. I really like the versatility of them because they're colorless in general. Now that you're having colored artifacts, which kind of ruins everything. But I really like doing artifact decks because there's so much versatility and there's so many artifacts in Magic the Gathering that people sleep on that are really really good win conditions. Like there's like Doorway to Nowhere, I think it's called, which I mean it's a tough card to use to win with, but if you could figure out a way, that's a fun card to use. Today, though, I use Artifact and Blue. That's kind of my two favorites. But once in a while, I'll do a black deck. Um, I tried to make a purple deck. Purple is when you have enchanted creature decks. They have like purple on the border. They did that during Innistrad and a few other sets. So I tried to make a purple deck, which is always fun. But blue has kind of always been my go-to for many years. Just because like control decks were crazy at one point, and if you weren't playing blue, you were pretty much, if you weren't playing blue or aggro red, you were pretty much going to get your ass handed to you at most places. Yep, yep, yep. Larry, you play blue too? I didn't know. JR Mina, I like Titan's Return 6-shot because it's epic submarine mode. Don't say it's a gun mode. No, look, that was a great mold, and it got retooled and repainted into 6-gun. It got repainted into Great Shot. So that mold got its action. They managed to repaint it into other things, and it turned out well. Turned out well. Timmy K Poindexter Esquire. I have several third parties of the 6-shot. Well, the best one for the longest time, I believe, was Hexatron, right? That was the one. I'm not a big third party guy, but I remember Hexatron everyone was talking about for the longest time. He was really popular. Door to Nothingness, that's it, I believe is what you're referring to. Yeah, that's a really good one. That's one where you have to use multiple colors to activate it, but when you do, you win the game instantly. And that's like a card people sleep on. That's a card like in a commander situation. Oh my god, that's probably a broken card, probably banned. I don't play much commander though. I don't have time to sit down to long, like, 2-hour commander games. I like going into my, like, if they're like when Friday Night Magic was a thing before the Big V kind of like ruined that. I go to like a Friday Night Magic event, get a few games in, get a few promos, stuff like that. JR Mina Old School Mavic was playing Red Green Land Destruction. That's a good one to use. Red, you would use strip mines. You could use Blood Moon and ruin all their lands too. Probably a bunch. We're losing half of the audience talking about Magic the Gathering, but God, but it's good times, good times. I wish I could play more. I play a lot of Arena online just to like keep myself sharp. When the big V happened and just kind of ruined the world, like thank goodness for Arena because there was just no other way to play outside of Magic Online, and I don't really play Magic Online that much anymore. But good stuff. We got a super chat question from Horned Owl, YouTube member for 19 months. Favorite MTG color combo is U and G. So you are counter and stompy. So you're using big creatures and counter spell stuff. Combo for me probably would be black blue. It would probably be black blue. I always have a soft spot for black because that was the first color that I really used actively in Magic. Which is funny because my first dual land was a Tundra, so that wouldn't work. But I had again, it was all based on I got that old gift set, that old revised gift set. It came with 2 starter decks, a whole bunch of actually I have some here. Where are they? Some of the little came with these little guys, the little tokens back in the day. Um, came with the tokens, came with a scry counter, and that was how I started my Magic journey. It was 1994. I was in grade 5. No, wait, was it grade 5, grade 6? It was grade 6 for me. Good times. If Hasbro trademarks for Devastator and use General Devastator for TF Zone, is that a new trademark? No, it's how they do it. Usually, what they'll do, I wish I had a good example. Usually, what they'll do, oh, this is a terrible example, but they'll do something where they'll put Devastator. You know what's the best way? Like whenever you see something that's like Autobot Mirage, and you'll see Autobot is trademarked and the other thing is trademarked or something. So the Devastator, if they put a general in front of it, it's not a new trademark. The trademark is Devastator, and they protect Devastator heavily. If you follow the history of the Devastator trademark, what an interesting history that is. So they did the G2 toy and they trademarked it because what happened is you had the 1991 Action Master Devastator. That's when they refreshed it, and then they used it again just in at the end of Generation 2 when the trademark expired. So you had the orange Devastator, and then trademark expired. They refreshed it for 94. And then you would have to ask yourself, well, what did they use for Devastator 94, 95, 96, 97, right? They thought they were going to use Devastator again, so they had to protect it. And how did they do that? You could Google this. Type Street Fighter G.I. Joe Devastator. So the Street Fighter G.I. Joe line took the Snowcat, painted it purple, and called it the Devastator. And that's how they kept Devastator alive. A lot of Transformer trademarks during that Beast Wars era, in order to keep them alive, they took those trademarks and they put them on G.I. Joe stuff. In the 90s, there was a Hasbro toy line called Record Breakers, very obscure toy line. And they would just take Record Breakers and they're like, oh, we need to protect these Micromaster names. We need to protect these, Mirage. We need to protect. So they would put like, all these like, very, very Transformer names on these race cars, so they always found tricks on how to do that. There's like when you look at all the Hasbro brands, even My Little Pony, there's a My Little Pony named Beachcomber. There's a My Little Pony named Trax. There's a My Little Pony named Countdown. There's a My Little Pony named Zigzag, which is one of the Target Masters. Who am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting somebody. I think there was another one. Obviously Flash Century, but that's my fault. That was my fault. That one has a pony crossover. They do that all the time. They do it all the time. JR Mina, since Studio Series 86 Swoop is a leader class and size-wise, he's smaller than the other dinos. What do you think Swoop will be a Voyager class and come with the other dinos missing weapons? That's a possibility. That's what a lot of people have been rumoring. is that they'll do what we call like the Studio Series Starscream treatment, where it's a Voyager class figure and they're just going to pad everything around it, give like the armor and everything. So I could see that happening. I could see that happening. It's something where I really hope they don't do like what they did with Beast Machine's Mega Class Megatron, where it's like, ooh, this is a deluxe class toy. But if we spread out its wings and then put it in the box, then we could say it's a mega class. So I hope they don't like put him in like, pterodactyl mode and spread out his wings and then just say, that's it, here you go. I would like it if it came with it would be cool if it came with the swords. It would just suck for everybody who wants to like collect everything. And then, they end up with a bunch of swords and then they go, oh, now I want to get Grimlock because now I have the swords for everybody. And did you see the prices for Grimlock? Woo! I talked about it on the podcast. Like, I think Grimlock is like going at 150 to 200 bucks right now. Oh, that's what happens. That's what happens when you release a set over a period of time, and then you have such a like when the swoop is going to come out, and swoop is scheduled to come out late 2023, early 2024. When swoop comes out, we will be 2 years removed from Studio Series 86 Grimlock. So that means that like 2 years of out of distribution, out of allocation, out of mint and package population. So the chances of finding a mint and package, good condition Grimlock are next to nil for a decent price. There'll be such a small population, and of course, supply and demand is going to kick in, and then look at what's happening on eBay right now. So hopefully, and I talked about it with the guys at Hasbro during the Q&A. I asked them like, how much do they pay attention to population reports and the secondary market? And they do pay attention to it. So if they're aware that there's money on the table with Grimlock, oh, they're going to do it. They're going to reissue him. So don't buy a don't buy a Grimlock in the secondary market. Wait it out. Hasbro's got you back, Jack. They're going to take care of it. I remember one of the fans just messaged me. I think it was on where's my phone? I think it was on Instagram they messaged me and they were thanking me because they listened to one of my podcasts and I was talking about how uh, Evan has plans to do a Studio Series 86 Soundwave and do it better than what the Netflix one was. And I was like, well, if that's the case, then people should probably get rid of their Studio Series 86 Soundwave while it's still money. I'm trying to find the individual's name because he was very happy. He ended up selling it. Here we go. Andy. Shout out to Andy. He says here, took your recent financial advice on Studio Series Netflix Soundwave. Didn't realize how much he was selling for. I'm glad that I did that. Thanks for all the great content. Thank you, Andy. But yeah, he sold his because if Evan is going to be working on a new one, and the reason why Evan wants to make a new one is because he said if you put your Netflix Soundwave next to Blaster, he's short. He's like much shorter. So he doesn't scale well because when they made that when they made that Netflix Soundwave, it was based on the Siege mold. So you're talking all that distance away, and Blaster was a legacy thing. So 3 lines later, obviously he ended up in Late Wave Kingdom as filler because of the big V, but that's a different story. So he wants to make something that scales properly and looks even more show accurate. So just keep that in mind. If you have a Netflix Soundwave, sell it now while people are still paying stupid money for it because you'll get a better opportunity later. It's kind of like what happened with Ironhide. Everyone was paying stupid money for that Amazon Ironhide, and then the Voyager one came out from Studio Series, and it's like that's how it works. Look, I have a Netflix Soundwave. It was gifted to me by Brigham Stormbringer. He gifted it to me. It was one of my very first patrons. He sent it to me. And, I think it's cool. It's really nice. But at the same time, I'm also going to recognize how the secondary market works. A better item comes around, and that's that. I mean, look at the value of like a Masterpiece MPO1 Optimus. MPO1 Optimus comes out. Everyone wants it. Then MP10 comes out. No one wants MP1. Then the new what was it? MP38 3.0 comes out. Then no one wants MP10. It's always like that. Michael Koo, has any G1 swoops been retooled into Beast Wars Pterosaur? No, never. The closest G1 swoop has ever been made into another character was a super obscure Transformers Armada, well, actually Micron Legend manga story that was a DVD exclusive. I don't have the DVDs here close by to show you guys. And in that, there was a character called the Ravenous, and it was pretty much Diaclone colored swoop. So, maybe you could do that obscure character, super obscure. That's one character you could do. But I'm sure they could think of something. They'll do some crazy retool and do something else. Time to sell your Netflix Soundwave. Hey man, if the money is there, that's what I always say. If let's put it this way, if you knew that there was a better Soundwave coming, and if you would sell your other one and get good money for it, most people would do that. But the problem is that it's very hard to find that opportunity where you get that insider news where it's like, oh, they're going to be making a better one. I could sell it. And there's so many people that, number one, don't listen to my podcast and don't pay attention to the regular news. So they just kind of buy stuff as it comes. And you got to take advantage of that, where there's people who don't pay attention to that stuff. And then you put it on eBay and the numbers are still crazy. So you can get your money. Well, how much did he cost? Was he $39.99? Was he that 2-pack? Excuse me, 3-pack, because it came with the 2 cassettes. Came with Ravage and Laserbeak. So just if you could get paid, if you could get some coin, and then you put that money towards getting the retail Studio Series one when that one comes out, and then you get a little extra money for yourself in a world where, finances aren't easy for a lot of people, go for it, man. Go for it. Ron Diaz, now my Earthrise Ironhide goes for $40. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That stupid figure used to go because people would buy that set, break it up. They'd break up the Prowl and the Ironhide, and they'd sell like the Ironhide for like $100 and the Prowl for like, because all the Datsun collectors, like I think the Prowl was like 120, and they were like printing money. They were making like super easy money from it. And now no one cares. Everyone's like, eh. The only people, and it's the old sour grapes, the only people who say that Earthrise Ironhide is better is the people who are trying to get rid of it right now and now are stuck with it, and they didn't get rid of it when they had the chance. So that's how it is. JR Mina, Proto, there are Funko hot rods being sold on eBay. Interested? I am interested because I'm a hot rod collector. I'm just not paying $100 for a Funko hot rod. I will gladly take it as a gift. Wink, wink. But I'm not paying $100 for that. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'll pay retail. I'll pay $20 or whatever it is for a Funko. 25. Timmy K. Poindexter. I think my Netflix Soundwave started yellowing, still sealed. Really? Where's mine? I can't see it from here. I'm not gonna bother go checking it. Mind you, I have a good climate controlled room. I mean, if my if my uh Tigatron is not yellowing at all, then I'm pretty, and this is like right here, you know, then something in the display cases is definitely not going to yellow, where it's climate controlled very nicely. But that sucks if it's starting to yellow, man. Then you should really try to get rid of it before it's green wave, like because when blue turns yellow, it has that like greenish hue to it. We got 45 minutes left in the stream. Good stuff though. It's $12 American for a regular Funko Pop. $12 too much, in my opinion. I had to buy a Funko Pop once for Radioactive Man, and now Super 7 is doing Ultimates Radioactive Man, and they made him fat. And I was like, what are they doing? Like, Radioactive Man is buff. So, and it's funny too because the Radioactive Man Funko Pop, someone at Funko didn't do their research, and they called it Homer Radioactive Man. Look, you know what? I get why Funko exists. Like the creator of Funko said it himself. Is that he knows how there's individuals that they want to be part of geek culture, but they don't know how to engage. I really like this show that I watch that's quirky and funny and everyone talks about it at work, but I don't know how to, where to buy product or how to engage with it. So it's safe for them. I really like Game of Thrones, but I don't know where to buy figures of this thing or whatever. And then you go to Walmart and there's a Funko Pop of it. I really like Seinfeld. I really like, Goonies. Like every possible brand. That's why they cover every brand, because they're trying to really you know, cover that. Baron Banana with his very first super chat, and it's a gold super chat. Welcome, Baron Banana. And it's a gold super chat too. Yellow like a banana. Yellow like you're gonna see something rare here. Yellow like Booster from Super Mario RPG. I collect rare Mario RPG stuff. And he wants to know, with the gold super chat, Baron Banana, worker here was contacted by a black market seller who offered to sell certain unreleased items and a certain commander. How do I report their info to Hasbro? You do what my friend Mr. Bumblebot did. You pretend that you're actually going to buy from them, and then you get as much information as possible from them in order to get it, and then you report it to Hasbro PR, aka BMAC. BMAC has been trying to crack down on people. He actually took down 2 videos, if you noticed, of certain reviewers, but it's very tough to do. You have to go through YouTube, prove to them that you are the owner of said product and it is stolen goods, and it's a whole process. And what sucks about it is sometimes by the time the video gets removed, they already made their views, thus they already made their monetization. The goal is, and I'm looking at you, and they know who they are. They don't like me, and I don't like them, and they're welcome to fight if they want, because these guys weigh like fucking 120 pounds soaking wet, and I'll beat their ass. Let me tell you. But I'll tell you this right now: they hate me, and I hate them. But I'm telling you guys, your channels are doomed, because now the process is to get rid of your channels. One day you're going to show up to your channel, and you're not going to be monetized anymore, and you won't be able to upload anything, and you'll be just like any other non-partner channel, and you're going to be in trouble. So, and they're going to come right at me because they're going to know where it came from. I'm just giving you a warning now. Stop. Stop before it's too late. If you don't, it's not my problem. And if you think it's my problem, we could talk. You know where to find me. Where are we at here? But yeah, so that's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. You know? I mean, look, these guys, the one, like, first of all, I don't even want to say their names, but one of them who does the reviews, he works in Vietnam and steals the product. And then he also gets paid significantly from one of the other guys that does the reviews and steals the product. And they have a very good relationship where one steals the product, they review it, then they send it to the other guy and he pays an exuberant amount of money, and it's like $150 for a deluxe figure. They buy it for $150, and you go, "Well, that's crazy. Why would you pay $150 for a loose, sometimes incomplete deluxe that's maybe off of the factory floor?" Doesn't matter when you do a YouTube review and you make 40,000 views and you make that $150 easily back and then some. And then you grow a channel because most of your channel viewers are children and they don't have morals and they don't care. So they subscribe and they like your stuff and they watch all your videos. So you build a whole foundation on that. But we're going to put an end to that, and it's going to suck. And I know what's going to happen. They're going to try to start a new. Trust me, I've already had these discussions with the correct parties who have the power. And they already are like, we already know what's going to happen is they're going to try to start a new channel, and then they're going to badmouth us, and we don't care. We don't care. We don't care. Like Mr. Bumblebot said, they're garbage people. And they are. Mr. Bumblebot was one of those people that was also contacted by them to get the, what was it? What was it, Chris? Was it a Hot Rod figure or something? It was a while back. It's when we first blew open all of this. You know? Um, Ron Diaz with the super chat for $5. Do I think early announcements like Pipeline will help stop early leaks, more fans, engagement, early announcements instead of waiting a few months? No, it won't, unfortunately. The thing is that they were able to stop the leaks for a period of time because they used to have all their stuff in China. There was a plastic company called Jetta Plastics. Here's a reality, guys. Hasbro and Takara don't press the molds and plastic molds of their own toys. They hire third party plastic companies to do that. One of those companies back in the day when it was done in China was Jetta Plastics. And Jetta Plastics had a problem. There was a guy that was working there who was stealing product and giving it to YouTubers back in 2009. Some of those YouTubers, I don't want to name them because some of them I consider friends, but what they did was scummy. But what they did is they used that to build a foundation of their entire, like literally one of those guys had 0 reviewers. And then he got the entire first wave of, it wasn't core class, it was Scout at the time, Scout class, Revenge of the Fallen stuff, and literally built his entire audience based on that. And then if he would have never got those, no one would have ever found his channel. And it would have been a lot harder road to do that. And so those guys were paying big money. And it's 3 individuals. And you could probably figure out who, and I'm not going to say who they are, but you could probably figure it out. But those 3 individuals built an entire platform. Now, granted, luckily, Karma has a funny way of working out, and all their channels are in the crapper now. But there was a point where they were making insane money and insane numbers. But when that contact disappeared, because they moved it from one factory to another in China, everything slowed down. And then when they were really left China and went to Vietnam, there was no leaks for like, geez, 7 years, 6 years. There was no leaks for a long while. But then one of those guys who worked at that factory was a Transformer fan and a YouTuber. And he knew what he had to do. He knew what he had to do, but to be like those 3 guys back in 2009. And then another YouTuber, pimply little kid, very bad accent. He knew that his channel too was nothing. And if he paid, took his mom's money, dancing the poles, and just, threw it at this individual and would get also some of those toys. The rest is history. I'm not going to name names because I'm not going to be a legend because they might, it's hate speech and da-da-da. So I'm not going to say names. You could say his names, not my business. What they say, hey, YouTube, they're saying it, not me. But if you got a problem with me, individuals that I'm talking about, because you know who you are, you know where to find me. Don't worry about that. I'll beat your ass. I'll beat your ass so bad. You have no problem with that. So, but that's what I'm talking about. Like those guys. It bothers me because I'm good friends with the guys who work on these toys. You know who I talk to, you know who I'm friends with. And it sucks when someone spends all this time and energy designing these toys, working on these toys, being proud of it, and they want to be the one to reveal it. Look, you guys can't see it right now, but we have another super chat. I'll get to the super chat in a second, Detective Ferret. Thank you for the super chat. You guys can't see it. Literally below this line, I have my exclusives that I'm working on for TFCon. I've been working hard on these. They're really cool exclusives. I know people are going to love them. I would be so pissed off if these exclusives that I'm working on, and the last exclusives I worked on went through a factory in China. I would be so pissed off if before I revealed my exclusive, that those individuals had advanced copies of them and broke the news before me. I would be furious to the point that I would fly over there and kick the hell out of them. That's how pissed I would be. The $1,000, I would literally be kicked out of the countries that they live in because I'd have a criminal record there and I wouldn't be allowed to come back because I would beat the hell out of them. And then when you would watch their reviews, you'd see their hands are all cut up and broken, and you'd be like, "Hey man, what happened to your hand?" "Nothing. It's okay." Anyway, so this review here of Airazor because she's my favorite character from Voltron because I don't know anything about Gundam, because these guys are idiots because they don't know anything about Transformers. I'm telling you, if that happened to me with my exclusives, and I'm holding them in my hand right now, you can't see them, but these are my exclusives for TFCon coming up. If that happened to me, I would be furious. And that's what's happening to Evan, Mark, Sam, you know? Everything they work on, it all gets screwed over. And it pisses them off. They're corporate guys, so when they're on the stream, they have to smile and they have to be happy about it. But they are not happy about it. And BMAC and them are going to take care of it. They are so working hard to take care of it because the last fan stream they did, 5 out of the 7 stuff were leaked stuff. And it would have been exciting for us to see if it wasn't leaked. Come on. It's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible stuff. So let's get into the super chats. Sorry about that, guys. Detective Ferret for $5. Hey, Proto, I was wondering, since we are getting an animated Bumblebee in Legacy, could we see repaints into Wasp? Brother, I hope so. I hope so. I always tell this story, but I'll tell it again just for people who are new. So the very last year of BotCon 2016 was the last year. I got to work on that box set with them. We did all kinds of crazy ideas. We didn't know at the time 100% that Hasbro was going to do their HasCon thing and pull the BotCon license away. Excuse me, the Transformer license away. 2017, we were going to do an animated box set. That was one of the different concepts. And it was going to take that Hydro Dive Bumblebee mold, which is the nicer deluxe class, and we were going to repaint it into everything. You're going to get I wanted Wasp to be the free figure, and Cliff Jumper, because he also didn't get a decent toy, he only had that activator. Cliff Jumper will be in the box set. And Wasp would be the free figure, and then the custom class would be Glyph, or Tap Out, or one of the other, pull out the Allspark Almanac, take your pick. But let me tell you something. That animated Bumblebee mold is like a Seeker mold. There's 14 characters associated with that mold. So, just like look what happened with that Cliff Jumper from Earthrise. Look at that Earthrise Cliff Jumper mold and how that got repainted into like 9 different things with all the different head sculpts and everything. It's going to happen. 100%. We're going to get our Wasp. We're going to get Tap Out. We're going to get it's number one, Mark and Evan like doing female characters. So you got female characters through that mold. Mark and Evan like doing micro collections. They love that stuff. And because Hasbro loves when you have repaints that aren't shallow repaints. It's one thing to take a character and paint it into Road Hauler, repaint it into Inferno, repaint it into Artfire, and those are all existing characters. It's another if you paint it purple and call it a character that didn't exist before. Then people have more of a hot and cold on it. Ooh, I don't know about this guy. Like, I know he wasn't a character before. But when you have pre-established characters that you can milk with proper repaints, non-shallow repaints, they'll do it every single time. It's just a matter of time. They can't give it all to you all at once because, there's only so many slots in the factory. There's only so many slots in retail. There's only so many slots as a generation select or whatever. But they'll do it. Oh, they'll do it. So if you're waiting for Wasp, that's how he's going to come, more or less. Let him come. Trevor Stasic with the gold super chat. Thank you, Trevor. Hi, Proto. Thanks as always for what you do in the future legacy. What do you think of BotBots Deluxe class figures? I'd love to see Deluxe Frostferatu. Which BotBot would you want to see in legacy? He's literally right here on top of my. Thank you for the gold super chat, by the way. He's on top of my my tower here. He's my favorite BotBot character. Number one, I would love it if there was deluxe class BotBots because BotBots was one of those examples where the toys were made years before the show was, and the toys don't match their show counterparts. Their show counterparts are a lot more articulated and they have different, veneering details. My favorite is this guy right here. I love this dude here who was voiced by a local Canadian rapper. And I would love it if they did, because what I don't like about his BotBot is his stand is a little off. So when you try to display him, he kind of just falls to the side all the time. So Starscope the BotBot, I think his name was. I'd love if he got one. But obviously, like Burgertron, needs Burgertron. How does Burgertron not have a a Legacy figure. He's literally the main character of the show, and there's a second season coming. You got to do a Burgertron. You got to do a Burgertron reissue. The original Burgertron toy was like 3-4 years ago, and the shows are out now. Like, I think I love BotBots, but I think that whole brand was so mishandled in terms of how you get things going. Yeah, I understand the toys came out, but if you knew a Netflix show was coming, you got to do some reissues of key characters. So that way when the Netflix show hits, people are going to be like, "Oh, I want, this character. I want that character. I want this character." But by the time when the Netflix show came out in September of what was it, 2022? 2021? I don't even remember. The big V made everything a blank for me. But when that show came out, where was BotBots in retail? This. You couldn't find BotBots in retail. There was like Wave 5.5 and Gold Rush, whatever, that had just left retail. And if you did find BotBots in retail, it was dead stock at your local Walmart or something. They should have reissued, they should have made special Netflix reissues, just like how you do Netflix, Siege and all that, a Netflix box set with all the key characters. And yeah, the key characters won't match how they look on the show because of you can't change the sculpting of the molds because that would cost too much, but at least you have it. And then people could have bought it and it would have done great. But nope, not smart move. But yeah, I would love Legacy BotBot stuff or Generations, whatever you'd want to call it. I would have my Star Scope. You will have your Frostferatu with with cape and everything. And what's the other one I'd like to do? I don't know. It definitely has to be Burgertron though. But thank you for the question. 11 possible repaints. Ain't that the truth? Michael Koo, if I'm missing any of the YouTube member questions, just ask again afterwards because I have to get to all the super chats. They get priority one here, but I'll get to everyone. Justice for Glyph. I'll say that one. I'd love to get another. I love Glyph. She was one of the first BotCon exclusives I ever got back in the day. My very first BotCon was BotCon 2001, and I was because I was still working like a crappy job at the time. I was only able to afford one of the big exclusives and two of the small ones. So I was able to get Glyph, Tap Out, and the RC because it was. I mean, come on, the very first RC toy. And then years later, I would get through TFCon, I'd get the Tigatron and what was his name there? What was his name? The gray wind charger repaint. What was his name? Oh my god, why am I forgetting it? Anyways, I'm tired right now. Michael Koo with the super chat. Info for future Transformer releases. Does Hasbro need to retail? Does Hasbro need the retail orders that far in advance to tell factories how many figures to produce? No, that is incorrect. How that works is they make a specific number of units that they base off of previous sales. So to give an example, right? If whatever, because you have retail product, I'm not talking store exclusives. That's a whole other different animal. Those are sold exclusives. So it's a domino effect that's been going on. So they go, okay, we did a case assortment of Earthrise Voyager classes. And these Earthrise Voyager classes, wave one, we made for simple math, and this is very low numbers, we made 5,000 units. And we shipped that 5,000 units to our warehouse because it gets put in packages and everything in Longueuil, Quebec, ships to their warehouse, and then it goes to distribution. And how does distribution works? Toy manager from Walmart. Hey, distribution guy from Hasbro, what's the latest wave of product? Okay, order 3 cases of that. And then what they have left over, when you go to a Winners, a Marshalls, I'm trying to think of an Ollie's. Ollie's is another good example. Whenever you go to these closeout places, you ever wonder where that stock came from? Where that dead stock came from? Didn't come from Walmart. Didn't come from Toys R Us. Didn't come from Target. Came from Hasbro having leftovers in their warehouse. So, and then when they go, oh, that didn't do well, then they discontinue. So when you go, oh man, why did they discontinue the MicroMasters? Why aren't there more MicroMasters in Kingdom and in Legacy? Like, why did they stop doing them? And then on the flip side, you go to Ollie's or you go to Big Bad Toy Store and you go, wow, how is Big Bad Toy Store selling the MicroMasters at like 60% off? Because they get dead stock that's been sitting. So they find out months in advance those retail numbers, and then they're able to adjust for the future to plan. And toy sales for Transformers has been doing very well. They've been like, all the news you've been reading about Hasbro recently, they've been down in their sales, and they have been down in their sales, but the truth is that they were down in their sales from insane highs that were happening during the Big V. So if anything, they kind of just returned to normal because, the good times don't always last. People were thinking it was the end of the world and they were buying everything. So, especially trading cards and stuff. But that's a whole other conversation. Oh, the Pokemon craziness that was going on. And the toilet paper. But the point is that they know way in advance how much to make because they base it off of sales from previous stuff. It's always like that. You never have stores ordering in advance. They're when they're working on stuff in the factory and making those units, the stores aren't even aware that that stuff exists to order. Thus, how the factory leaks and stuff like that happen because we don't know about it. The stores don't. They might have like a store listing, but they don't know what that is. It's a number in the computer. It's EAN code Voyager da 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 da. The store manager who has to pay attention to every Barbie doll, every Lego figure, every Paw Patrol, every Peppa Pig, every Hot Wheels, and he's going to know what a Voyager, Artfire, Legacy Evolution figure is. He's not going to know that. So to them, they ignore that until it comes to, oh, okay, so it's $34.99 per unit. I get 4 per case. Actually, if it's a Voyager, yeah, it'll be 4 per case. I'll get 4 per case, and then they make those decisions based on that because they look at their stock and go, oh, okay, the Transformer stuff's moving pretty well. We have space on the shelving. We'll buy a new case of something because every store is unique. That's another conversation to have too. Is every store has their own stock situation. Everyone's, oh, my Walmart's the worst Walmart ever. We never get anything new. You don't know that. You weren't there every day. I hear that so often. I worked next to a Toys R Us and a Walmart. When I worked at Burger King back in the day, I literally could look out my drive-through window and see a Toys R Us and a Walmart. And I went Monday to Friday from 2002 until 2007, my entire time working there. I went every single day. And I'm telling you guys, there was times where if I didn't go one specific day, especially during the Energon era, I'd be like, "Oh man, there's Kicker from Energon, the figure, the 2-pack that came with Highwire. I picked it up on a Tuesday, went on Wednesday, it was all gone, never saw it again." If you were a guy that always went on a Friday to Walmart, you would have never even known that thing existed. I hate to say it, but you got to go every day. If you really want to judge your Walmart or your Toys R Us, you got to go every single day, or your Target or whatever spins your fancy. Thank you for the super chat. Mark Morales, 1516. Thank you, Mark, for the gold super chat. Hey, Proto, curious about Studio Series 86 Dinobots are sold well. Do you think Hasbro might complete the Age of Extinction Dinobots? I think they will. Studio Series, as they start running, and you mentioned Galvatron for late Studio Series. Also, screw the thieves. Well, the thieves are asses. That's all I'm going to say. It is what it is, brother. It is what it is. Just don't watch their content. That's what I always say. You want to stick it to them. Don't watch their content. The guys at TFW 2005, Black Convoy specifically, what he does is he watches the video, does an insane amount of screenshots, and then he tries to what do you call it? Back up the video, and then he posts it on TFW's website. So the guys on TFW make money instead and everything. But he sometimes he does that and then he gets it taken down. So archive, there you go. He archives the video, but a few times it got taken down. So, but they try to make sure that the thieves don't make the money. But yeah, sooner or later it's all going to happen. They're slowly going through all the characters and going, okay, we didn't do him, we didn't do this one, we got to do that because they're running out of characters. Someone made a list not too long ago. I forget who it was. Someone on Twitter posted a list, and it was like every like serious Studio Series 86 character that didn't get a toy yet. And when we say serious, it's like We're not talking like you know, movie 2007 blender guy with that penis, in Sam's kitchen, We're talking like, Scalpel, the hair doctor in Revenge of the Fallen. He didn't get a new toy. Where's Scalpel's toy? Where's the twins? Where's the ice cream twins? Where's the regular twins? So there's certain characters that didn't get, updated toys yet. So sooner or later they'll happen. It'll come. It'll come. Mayoral fabrication, we need a transmetal rubber ducky BotBot. Well, we have a rubber ducky BotBot. I believe his name is Quackers or something, Quack something. So we have a rubber ducky BotBot actually. So it does exist if you want one. I believe he was wave 4. It was the same wave that had the Christmas one. So look for that, and then your Megatron will be very happy. You could give it to your masterpiece Megatron. It'll scale very well. And the first ever official rubber ducky transformer was from BotCon. Look up the BotCon rubber duckies. Jaws D bought 2 of them. He got one signed by David K. He put it on eBay. He made his money. Let's put it this way. Jaws D was smart to do that. Very smart indeed. All right, let's jump into some YouTube member questions. Sorry if I missed those. If I missed any, just throw them in too. AI Dragon Legend, hey Proto. Thank you for the question. AI Dragon Legend, who's a YouTube member with the Hot Rod emblem. By the way, if you are a higher YouTube member, if you've been a YouTube member for multiple months, you could actually change your emblem in the settings if you'd like. Hi, Proto. Would you like to see a drawing art of Hot Rod with a fire flame spoiler with fire crossbow, like animated Rodimus? Great idea as a flame convoy. Well, we haven't seen the flame convoy name in a long while. You can barely see him over there, aka it's being covered here. Scourge. Scourge from Cybertron was called Flame Convoy, but Japan has different trademark and naming licenses, so they don't have to use a character to keep a trademark. It's very different over there. There's more of a I don't want to say there's an honor, but it's like they don't need to trademark Hot Rodimus because they know like Sony will never put out a character called Hot Rodimus because that would be disrespectful. It's a very different business culture over there. So that's why they don't have to worry about the trademarks and stuff like that. It's such a shame because over here it's like Hot Wheels like, "Oh wait, Hasbro didn't trademark Optimus Prime?" And then like, here comes Mattel, boom, and then they use it for like a Mattel like Hot Wheels or something. They've done that to each other so many times. It's crazy. It's nuts. So it's a very different world. We don't have honor. Michael Koo, yup, love my RC emblem. Thanks, Proto. Yeah, those I just added. I added them literally today. YouTube emailed me and they're like, "Hey man, you got over 50 YouTube members that have joined, and you got over 5 million views on your videos." So they do like I guess they're called like celebrations or something, and you unlock stuff. What's up, David Cabal? How you doing, man? Um, so there's all these like unlocks and stuff. So can I do a Springer one? I could. It's just just right now. You know what, David? When we get the next emoticon unlocked, because those are more likely to happen next, because it's like you unlock a new emblem, you unlock a new emoticon, you unlock a new emblem, you unlock a new emoticon. So I think the emoticon's the next one that's going to be unlocked. Remind me in like a couple months or something if it blows up quickly. Who knows? I'll put a Springer. If you notice the ones that I picked, they're legendary 7 ones. Like obviously, where's the Devastator's the only one that's not there, And you have Hot Rod because, you know, bias. I put some Beast guys because Beast stuff is going to be popular soon. You have to think business wise. That's why. No offense to Springer. Springer's a cool guy. Mr. Bumblebop. So Proto is Kingdom Wave was Kingdom Wave 1. Wait, so Proto, it was Kingdom Wave 1 and Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. Oh, the stuff that was stolen. Yeah. So that was the stuff. So the very first stuff that was being stolen was Kingdom Wave 1 and Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. Terrible. Beast Wars, one of my favorite Transformer series, and my favorite toy of all time and favorite character, Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. That breaks my heart. Where are we at here? Studio Series Fall of Cybertron, Ironhide possible. Look, they're doing more video game stuff. We have all, look, right away, because we're going to be getting that side swipe. I talked about it in my individual segments on it. If we get that side swipe, that's a small retool away from being Jazz. So you're going to get Sideswipe, you're going to get Jazz. Right away, you're going to get those two. Then you have the Starscream, that's a Voyager class. Every Seeker possible. So just don't even have to talk about that one. If they do Ironhide, you're going to get the Ratchet. So that's going to happen. So for sure. For sure. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's a matter of just when. That's all it is. There's certain characters that are like, it's so easy. It's such easy money for them. You know, for them to do Botanica, which I always push for, but for them to do Botanica, that's a risk, you know? Brand new tooling, what do you repaint that into? You know, what do you do afterwards? Maybe you could get a Quintesson out of it or a Quintessa, you know? But like, you know, that's a tough one. But you do an Ironhide mold, right away you get Ironhide. You could do Protecto Black Diaclone Ironhide. You could do Guard. Now that Guard's a thing. You do Ratchet. You do Rescue Ratchet, which is the yellow movie colors. So right away you got 5 there. 5 from one mold, from one tooling with a new head sculpt and a light bar. You know, they want those characters. That's why they love doing. Look at the news that we just talked about. Where is the one here? Let me pull up that piece of news we were talking about. The late no, not, yeah, this one here. Like, let me look at this piece here. So we have a core class Starscream. We have a Voyager class Lambo characters. We have deluxe class Lambo characters. We have Voyager class Seeker characters. So right away you got characters that are going to give you like 5 or 6 repaints minimum across those molds in 3 different price points. They're protecting themselves. They do the tooling, they know they're going to get their money. You know, I love Hot Rod, but you know, you do a Hot Rod, you do, you could do toy color, maybe you could do animation pink color. Target Master Toy Accurate falls into the toy color. You could do black repaint, maybe Lost Light. And even then you're stretching with Hot Rod. There's only so much you can repaint from a Hot Rod, but you got a Seeker Jet. Oof, oof. You got like 19 characters right there. We need a new Red Wing. Let's do a new Red Wing. We haven't done a Red Wing with Nova Storm or anybody. So many. So many. We got 11 minutes left in the stream today. Jeez, get your super chats in. Hopefully next week we'll have some reveals from Symbiote Studios with you guys, and maybe I'll see. Again, I have to see how my schedule is. Maybe we'll do another live stream during the week to test out some more video game stuff. Maybe. We will see. David Cabal, we need a Hot Rod with Daniel fishing playset. There was a third-party company that did that. There's a third-party company that comes with Fishing Daniel and Hot Rod with Fishing Rod for your Studio Series 86 one. My buddy Jason found that on BBTS, I think, had it. Jason, if you're in the chat, chime in. I don't remember. But yeah, so there is a third-party upgrade kit if you want to have your Fisher jumping today, eh, Dano? Somkiat Alexander. Hey, Proto, I suffer from severe FOMO. Please don't. Have you ever dealt with this, and how would you get over it? Yes, I did. The year was 2002, and Energon was coming out, and I used to buy everything day one. I would take my Burger King paycheck, working Monday to Friday, all $500 of it for working 2 weeks. This is bad. This is, mind you, 2002 money. 2 weeks, 5 days a week, 40-hour paycheck, $500. And I would throw it at a wave of something and completely decimate my paycheck. And then what happened? I learned finance. I learned how money moves. I went to BotCon, 2001 BotCon, and I saw all that stuff and it didn't click. Then I went to 2002 BotCon and it didn't click. But then I went to 2003 BotCon and I saw all that Energon stuff that I had bought at the beginning of the year. And there it was, loose complete, 50% of the price. Then I was seeing sales at Walmart and Toys R Us when it still was a thing in the United States too. And I realized most of it you could wait. For every one Transformer figure that skyrockets in price and goes for crazy money, there's 6 that dive. And the money that you saved, right, will more likely cover your butt for the one that went up, or even more so, just be money that you could keep in the bank because you saved money. FOMO is a dangerous thing. It makes you freak out and spend money when you don't need it on things that you don't even know if you need it, you know? And so many people I see in the fandom, they buy stuff and then they realize they don't need it. And then they go, "Oh, guys, I'm selling this." And they're selling at a loss, you know? They're getting some of their money back, but they're still selling at a loss. I bought it for $24.99 plus state taxes, and now I'm going to sell it for 30. You know, you don't get that situation. You get, I bought it for $24.99 plus state taxes, and I'm selling it for 15, loose complete. I shouldn't have bought this figure. I should have waited. You know, now it's on sale. Look at the Hasbro Pulse sale that happened at the end of the year. It was insane how much big ticket items went for cheap money. I'm telling you, like this Cybertron Metroplex, there's going to be a big sale of him coming because he did not sell well. I knew he wasn't going to sell well. I was happy for the Cybertron Galaxy Force collectors, me included. We were happy for it. Hey, it's a cool product, but he didn't sell well. Nitro Convoy? Nitro Convoy. Love this toy. Yeah, some of you call it Override. I love this toy. One of my favorite characters of all time. Didn't sell well. Went on clearance for what, $15? It happens. So, Cybertron Metroplex, if you didn't buy one yet, wait. Oh, it's coming. That sale is coming. There's going to be such, you're going to, Walmart or Target or Amazon is going to do some kind of drop where he's going to be like 50% off. Watch. The only FOMO you should have is the FOMO, the fear of saving money. Save money. We live in a bad economic time, and the whole point of this podcast is to educate you on what's coming, how to plan your money, and to be smart with it. That's why when people quit the Patreon, they say they can't afford it. I'm cool with that. If they can't afford the Patreon, then that tells me that $3 a month is going to wreck you. Bro, you need that money. If $3 a month or $5 a month is going to wreck you, then you need that money. Don't give it to me. Keep it. Go feed your family. Invest it. Something. You know, put it in a blue chip stock, but you know, put it in a GIC. You know, 401k something. But keep it away from me because if $5 is going to break you. But I'm telling you, like, you got to be smart with your money. You really do. Because who knows? Like, I always feel like there might be another recession coming. It's like the last time we had a major recession was 2008, 2009. And that was coming out of all the mistakes that happened during, and I don't want to get political. I'm a Canadian. I don't care about politics. I like poutine and hockey. That's my politics. My president is Wayne Gretzky. My prime minister is Bret Hart. All right. Oh, there it goes. Hail to you, Prime Minister. Heart attack. Anyways, I always got to keep him nearby because he's my boy. And there he goes. Anyways, so the point is that you have to, you have to be smart with your money. And I saw with that first recession, it was coming. All the mistakes with the housing market and everything that happened in 2005, and it blew up. So everything that happened during the big V now is building up to something that's going to happen in the next 2 years. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel about that. That is so, And I don't want people who are going to lose their jobs because of a recession, because, oh no, like we can't hire workers anymore. And then they're going to be in a bad financial situation. The one good thing, though, I will say is we are we are so well equipped for it because we have our toys as an investment that if ever we're in a financial situation, we could make money. That's the one good thing we are as toy collectors, is because a lot of people, they suffer from a recession and they don't own anything. They don't own anything. They spend money on their cell phone, which they're not going to sell. They spend money on clothing, that good luck reselling that. So they spend money on going out to dinner, good luck getting money back for that. Us, it's something where if we're in a bad financial situation, we could go, oh geez, okay, Black Convoy, da da da. Like, there's stuff that you could do. So to me, we're lucky like that, but at the same time, don't you put yourself in a situation where it also. So right now, be careful with your money. I always worry about it. Because I don't want the people who listen to my podcast, who should be learning about finance, be screwing up by it. That's just my 2 cents. I apologize if I went long on that one. Michael Koo, my Transformer FOMO, which Transformers are front and center and which ones are the back of the display? Yeah, I hear you with that one, especially when you have 3 feet deep displays. You got to go by height, and you got to buy risers, which you could buy cheap at the dollar store. Some Kiat, thank you. So true. Just found a Shadow Panther for $9. Ain't that the truth, brother? I think Mikey and Louie sent me this one, and they probably bought it on sale for like nothing. So that's how it rolls. Bigum says Target has Metroplex for 99 US. Well, there you go. What is that? That's already $100 off of its original MSRP. You know? Look at that. I feel sorry for anyone that bought it day one. Michael Koo, Protoman, have you found the black toonie yet? No, I have not. Where is my I always love showing it. Where's this? My funny Canadian money. So I always show this to people. So this is a $1 million Canadian currency. Here you go. Canada, eh? The $1 million Canadian bill. I always love doing that. Showing people that. I used to bring it to BotCons and I'd mess with people. And they'd be like, yo, why are you carrying $1 million Canadian? It's like, no, don't worry. When you translate it into American currency, it's about $6. I have not seen the black toonie yet. But when I do, I will keep it. Every time I see a cool Canadian coin, we have a lot of cool coin variants because we put color on them and we paint them. I always try to keep them. The toonie always gets like a Canadian flag with some red in it or something. Or they did the hockey coins; those were cool. The toonies that had the Canadiens logo in it, the Montreal Canadiens, I love that. That was so cool. I always keep those. I'm not a big coin collector, but when I see cool coins, I keep them. It comes from my arcade years because I collect arcade tokens from every arcade I go to. I keep those, and it just probably comes from that. I have a huge arcade token collection through all the years of all the arcades. I think I posted that once. I posted it on Facebook, I think, or something. Uh, Black Zarek at 110. Yeah, man. Black Zarek was another one. Didn't sell well. Went on clearance. He went on clearance on Hasbro Pulse, BBTS, TF Source, which again, you would have learned about all of that if you were part of the TF Slag Discord, which is part of the Patreon. Where else did it was on sale? Went on a sale a bunch of places. And people scored, man. Scored big time because his original MSRP was $179.99, if I remember correctly. And that's a character like you don't want to own the original toy. You do not want to own the original toy at all. That original toy is a nightmare. Alice Devil, it'd be kind of weird to do a high moon based Transformer just because the games aren't available anymore. Doesn't matter. That's what they're doing. They're doing high moon related toys. You'll see. You will see. Hasbro owns the designs. That's how it works. And I will read the very last one today because we are past the 2-hour mark. Epic Cogman says, love your videos. Keep it up. Thank you, Epic Cogman. All right, guys, we are done for today. I just want to give again a shout out to my sponsors, Symbiote Studios, rocking the Catnip Bravo Shark shirt today. But you could check out all their other stuff of the Transformer flavor. Bang Bang. Check them out. And of course, Hasbro Pulse and the beautiful relationship I have with the Hasbro crew. I've always look, you see, I criticize pricing and everything, but I'm still buddies with them. I just want to be honest with you guys. You know what I mean? Up front. I'm not going to be a Hasbro simp. They're the best thing ever. You should buy everything full price. Some stuff you should wait. Some stuff you should never pay full price. Some stuff is overpriced. But some stuff is really cool too. Transformers is a cool hobby. And it has some cool fans also. I love those Star Saber swords. So check out Hasbro Pulse. Go buy some cool stuff. Maybe on sale. And of course, Andeceits. Rocking my Optimus Prime Andeceit until we get a Hot Rod one, if that happens. Probably won't, but if it happens. Andeceits, check them out, andeceits.com. Use promo code ProtoMan. Get 15% off. And of course, thank you to all my Patreon people, all my YouTube members. Those are the people with the green names and the icons next to their names. If you want to help support the podcast, again, youtube.com/Protoman. No, excuse me, not youtube.com. Patreon.com/Protoman. You can tell I'm getting tired now. Patreon.com/Protoman. Or check the pin comment. That'll be there later, or the description down below. And join the Patreon. Help support the podcast. If you don't like Patreon, again, you could be a YouTube member like on the side there and hit that join button. Give what you can or give what you can't. It's only if you have the extra coin. Helps grease the wheels and everything. Especially now that I'm building the whole video game display thing. I want to get better lighting. The lighting was terrible. I need to get a new mic. I have to get an extra microphone now for there because I am not lugging this to the game room every time. So because the audio was doo-doo. And thank you for the people who showed up to tell me that it was doo-doo because I wanted to know if it was doo-doo. It was not good. You guys couldn't even hear the video game and my audio was too loud. Ugh. But thank you for that. Thank you everyone who came today. I'm going to answer this one last question. Timmy K. Pointester, Esquire, wait, Protoman, what is for dinner? I went to Costco. I got a hot dog and a poutine because I'm Canadian. Poutine, eh? I got a hot dog and a poutine, and I left with a Costco barbecue chicken. I'm going to get rid of the skin. I know that sounds crazy, but skin is all fat and everything anyways. I'm going to get rid of the skin. I'm going to take the chicken breast. I'm going to make a salad with it because it is for $5 for a whole chicken that's barbecued and everything with chicken breast, and chicken is the cleanest meat you could eat outside of pork. You know, I'm gonna have that tonight. I was literally drooling just thinking about it. And then after that, like I always say, I'm gonna go play some Nintendo Switch. I got me what was it? The new games that I'm playing, the new Game Boy stuff that Nintendo put out on Nintendo Online. So I'm playing through for like the 50th time. I have to play that game once a year. I always feel like Link's Awakening. I'm replaying that again because that I could beat in a day. I beat it so many times. Link Awakening DX. I'm gonna play Mario Land 3 because I love Wario Land 3 because I love Wario. I'm playing Guardian Tales, which is a MOBA game that's free also on Nintendo Switch. I'm playing the Kunio collection that I bought from Limited Run Games, and I'm waiting for the new Zelda that's coming out. And I'm probably going to play some other stuff too as it comes in the mail and everything. I got a lot going on. Take care of yourselves, everyone. I love you all. You're a great bunch of fans. It's amazing how far we've gone. And so I hope you all learned something today. Like I always say, take care of your family, take care of your finances, and get out there. Walk away from the phone, walk away from the screen, go for a walk and enjoy the real world. All the negativity of social media is not what you think it is. Trust me, it's just a bunch of angry people sitting in front. If you see someone tweet more than 5 times in a day, usually more than 5 times in a day, you should probably unfollow them because they're unhealthy. That's all I'm going to say there. Take care of yourselves, guys. I'm out of here. Roll out.